Let's start with reviewing the minutes. Oh, excuse me, actually, any public comments?
No, I did not receive any public comments.
Okay, all right. So let's start with the minutes. Do we have a motion to accept the minutes?
I can't motion because I wasn't there.
Aha, good point. Oh, actually, who was here?
I
Kim
move
and-
to accept the.
Do we have a second? Any discussion?
Wait, who initialed it?
Who made the motion?
Kim did?
Kim,
Thank
Kim
you.
made it.
And Mary second. Okay, thank you.
Very second. Any discussion? I'm trying to do this in the right order. Any discussion? I didn't see anything out of the ordinary. It looked good to me. Mary, Kim, how about for you? Okay.
Looked
So
like a very
All good.
all good. So those of us who were there, all in favor of accepting the minutes, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All right. And Mike and Smith abstained because they weren't here for that particular meeting. Alrighty. Liaison reports. So I heard from Mika Cardozo earlier today. He's very apologetic that he couldn't be here for this meeting. He's out of town. And today is his last meeting with us because there was the election and he's decided to pass the scepter on to someone else, well, who was elected, obviously. So I would just like to say that Mika, Mika's not here with us, but just want to thank him so much. I think he's just been really a great liaison and really has brought our concerns to the board and feel he's really heard any concerns or questions. So I wanted to say that. I don't know if anyone else has anything to say.
I think he's been a great liaison, and tons of thanks to Mika. With that, however, he is on the Board of Selectmen through June. So do we have a meeting in June?
Yeah, June 28th. We do have.
Oh, so maybe,
We
thank
will
you.
have a chance to thank him for all his work at that meeting.
Thank you. Good point. Well, we can never thank someone too often, too much for their excellent work. So feel free to add this to our minutes. But yes, that will be very nice. Hopefully Mika will be here on the 28th for our next meeting. Thank you,
Yeah.
Mike. I forgot about that. All right. So though Mika couldn't be here tonight, he did want to remind me that we have a continuation of the annual town meeting next Wednesday, the 2nd of June, and it will actually be live at the firehouse. I'm not sure. I thought I read something that if there are more people that attending that can fit in the firehouse, there'd be overflow seating outside. So I don't know if they're planning some sort of audio version or some visual. I really don't know. But it's a good reminder that I will certainly be there at that meeting. And John, I know you're going to be there at that meeting.
Yes.
And depending on what happens, if there's a vote, and if there's any, anyone who has concerns, or if the budget as a whole gets voted down, then there could be discussion, and each of the departments may have an opportunity to speak and really discuss the budget in as much detail as necessary. Now, I know we passed this budget back in December, the commission, right? But we were going to, I asked Jim to resend the budget. I mean, we had it in our packet back then, but I thank you, Jim, for resending it just to make it accessible at a glance. And when we get down to the financial report, we could just, review it a bit more. If anyone has any questions, John, if you have anything to discuss about, I mean, you presented it clearly to us in the past, but it's an opportunity for us to just, relook at it and be prepared in the event you get to speak about it at the town meeting, if there's any questions. So hopefully everyone got it. I mean, it might have been late in the day that you actually received it, so I'm not sure if you've had a chance to look it over. But
Yeah, I sent it about 4:45.
right. Yeah. Thank you, Jim. So that discussion is to be continued. In terms of chairman report, I know I sound like a broken record. I really just want to continue to say thank you so much to Rec, to all of you who've continued programming. It's not been an easy year, and continued to use creativity and common sense to keep programs going, opening up in a responsible fashion so that we keep the community healthy. So I thank you and excited for this next steps into programming, which we'll hear more about this evening. So many thanks. Smith, do you have an updated report?
Yeah, well, first, I'm very excited to hear about the summer camp programming and everything. So that's really exciting for me to hear about. I also I've worked with Jim and John regarding the treasure hunt. We had 20 total treasure returned. So I hid about 18 of them again. So we have and I'm not, Jim, have you gotten any in the last week or so?
No, we have not.
Okay. So there's another 20 of them out there still around. And this time I pretty much know where they are. Before I did not, because I didn't hide the other ones, but now I do know where they are. And so Jim has a list now of where they are. So hopefully, it is continuing. So hopefully we'll get a few more back.
And the key to the Lexus, you put it in a plastic bag so it won't get wet if they find it.
There's only one of those.
Do you think it's worth putting a news flash out again for that? Just to say, hey, now that it's summertime is nearly upon us, you think it's worthwhile? I know you put one out, back in, was it March or I forget now.
Yeah, we'll do
Yeah.
another email. We'll do
It
another
wouldn't hurt.
blast.
It wouldn't hurt. It'd be a good thing.
Yeah, I think people are ready to come out and
Yep.
play a little more.
So
Okay.
that's it for now.
Okay, great. Thank you, Smith.
You do the report on the pool.
So we have any pool report? I understand that Teresa and Chris were able to be here due to an urgent matter. Anything to report from the pool, John?
Oh, great.
Yeah.
WAC is here swimming.
WAC is here doing good. They're still following all the rules and regulations like that, and everything's going good. Well, people are signing up, for the pool.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that, towards the end of June, July, maybe we could start thinking about maybe opening up a little bit more, adding a little bit to it and see what we could do, because we opened up a little bit more to the fitness center. So maybe we can now start in another month or so, start going to open up programs in the pool.
Do you have thoughts, or maybe this is something that Teresa would want to comment, what that might look like?
No, I'd have to sit down with Teresa. Because then I'd just be talking off the top of my head, doing this and anything, but I have to talk to her, which, because we need to get guards. Nobody wants to work anymore, but we're going to try. And she's pretty good at getting people, but our resources are really cut down because there's just nobody out there. So we have to figure that out. Once we figure that out, we first have to get people to work. And once we get the people to work, then we can space it out a little bit. So we'll get right on it. Another month, we'll get on top of that.
Andre, you're back.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. I muted myself. I see in the more recent packet that you sent names of the summer camp staff.
First, my Tim.
Yeah, I sent it today.
I found it. Oh, in my hand. It's in my hand.
Yeah, we got the summer camp staff.
So well, the first question we always ask is, was there a background check for everyone? Did everyone check out? Which,
Yeah, I checked with Tony today. It's only new hires that get background checked. And so those have been formed. We're getting them back. So, the background checks have been performed, correct, on the new hires.
Yep.
oh,
And that's through by town hall. So,
Yep.
yes.
interesting. I didn't know that. Okay. And that's the regulation in the town?
Yes.
Yep, that came from Tony. I met with Tony today on that. It said just new hires get the background check. So,
Okay, fair enough. How many of the staff listed here are new counselors?
what was that, 18?
Yeah, somewhere in that area.
It was 18 that were actually new.
So they've all had the checks and
Yes.
Yes.
checked out A-okay. And I was wondering about the salaries. So I noticed there's some who receive 1,550, some 1,600, some 1,850. Can you comment on? Well, the 1,800 was 1,850 is a head counselor.
Right, years of experience. It goes
It
by
is.
years of experience. First year head counselor, second year head counselor, third, fourth, fifth. Same thing with the assistants. First year, second, third, fourth. There's a salary scale that goes up each year as you work.
Okay,
I can
great.
see 1,550, that's a first year assistant counselor, 1,600 it's a second year, 1,650 third year, and so on. So it's their step. So that's why you see the difference in price.
Right.
Okay, yeah. Okay, that's great to just hear it seemed that there was obviously some logic and I just wasn't sure how that looked. And the consultant, this SPED consultant, can you comment on who that is? What that?
It's Stephanie Krish. Stephanie Krish has been working with us for the last 10 years. She was the head of special ed department for the city of Hamden.
Okay.
She works for us every summer and she helps us with all the special ed kids and needs that they have. She goes to the counselors, she gives suggestions and talks to them. She finds out who the kids are. She has all the information on everybody like that. And she's an expert at what she does.
Okay, great. And that I imagine it says $45. That
Yep.
probably is not.
That's
that-
not what they get, but that's what she will do it for us.
Oh, really? Per hour? I see. Okay, I'm like, wow,
Yeah, you're
45.
talking about $67 an hour. And
Okay.
we wouldn't be able to survive that. And she's fine with that with us. And
That's-
Stephanie doesn't work 24/7. She doesn't work every single day, everything like this. As Jim calls her and tells her this one signs up or that one signs up, she comes in, she meets with the council like this. So she doesn't put in the 30 hours a week like everybody else. She may put in one week 5 hours, another next week 10 hours, then 5 hours and 20 hours. That's all. She doesn't. She just comes in when she has to take care of each individual child report.
I see. Is there a maximum amount that you expect on average? Is it similar each year? That might be hard to answer.
It rotates. Some years more than others. Sometimes they'll come and they'll only be here. Even if they're here a week, we still have to make sure we know what we're doing.
Oh,
with them.
sure,
Sometimes they're
sure.
here for 6 weeks. So we check it. And then when you're here for 6 weeks, you have to check again to make sure everything's caught up, everything's okay, everything's going well. If there are any problems, if the child is, fitting into the program, what's going on. So she does all of that. She takes care of, she gets the list and she follows through on every single group and she goes
Sure.
right to the group, to the counselor.
Okay, great. Sorry, I just have to let my dog out. 1 second. I'm so sorry.
John, are you going to talk about camp further on in the meeting? Or is this a good time for me to ask a couple of questions?
No, go ahead, ask.
So I know that the CDC put out new camp guidelines regarding coronavirus yesterday, the day before. Could you speak to what sort of restrictions there are at Rec this summer?
Hey, Smith, I'm
Yeah.
I'm just, before we do that, should we take a vote on this and then continue on? That's a
Oh,
really
yes, yeah, you
important-
gotta vote for that.
Definitely. I had one other question that may or may not be related, so I'm sorry to interrupt. Does this factor in? I know there was a question about nursing staff and just wondered how that.
We're working with the school. We're working with the school at that. If the school comes up with a nurse, then we'll do like we did before. We'll split the cost of the nurse between the two programs. So if the nurse
Okay.
costs $4,000, the school will pay $2,000 and we'll pay $2,000. Like that.
Okay. And are we hopeful, are we pretty certain that we have a nurse on board for this?
We're hope so. I'll be working with the superintendent in the next week or so, a couple of weeks. We'll be talking like this and find out what his programs and what he has. He has to have a nurse there, so we'll utilize the same room, the same things, same equipment. We'll try to do like we did before.
Okay,
If not, we'll have to do on our own or something like this. And you know, worst comes to worst, we have to get an EMT. You know, they're qualified. We've had them before. We've had qualified individuals like this, but I'd rather have a certified nurse and working it that way. But it is what it is.
okay,
Alright.
so there's, camp will run. There's no.
Yes, camp will run no matter what. I'm a certified EMT. If I have to, I covered one last year when there was a mix up between the nurses that couldn't make it. One got sick and one was going away, and I covered for the week. So we're covered.
Okay, that's great.
It-
Um,
Is Beecher having the summer enrichment program that you can split the
Beecher's
nurse?
having the program. I think it's going to be 8 to 10 in the morning. Sandy Simmons is not working with the program. She told me she's not going to
Okay.
be working this year with it. Conflict somewhere along the line, but they're going to be doing 8 to 10, and then they're going
Okay.
to have educational programs during the day. And I don't think they're having an after program.
Okay, but they are having a program that you could split the cost of the nurse with them.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
okay, good. Should we take a vote on this staffing, the summer staffing? Unless there are other questions. Okay. Do we have a motion to accept all of the staff that we received the list for the summer camp? Smith is making a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, great. So be it. Let's move forward on, thank you guys for pulling that together for this meeting. And camp will start, is
June
it
28th.
June 28th? So this is great that this was all set. We didn't have to have a special meeting because their next meeting will be June 28th. So this is.
There you go.
Well done, well done. Okay, we should move back to Smith's very important question related to CDC and camp and all of that.
CDC regulations state that masks have to be worn when they're not in physical activity. When you're in a physical activity, you can remove your mask to play in a physical activity. They're playing lacrosse or anything like that, they can take it off. But when they come off the field or on the side of the field waiting, they have to wear a mask. When they're traveling from one group to another group to another, to like outside to arts and crafts or something, they have to wear a mask until they get there. Anybody that's vaccinated does not have to wear a mask, but we're going to have our staff wear the mask no matter what, even if they're vaccinated. With the program, they're going to be wearing a mask. These children won't be vaccinated. They're in a younger age like this, so they won't be vaccinated. So they'll be wearing their masks. Mandatory if you're not engaged in that physical activity or moving inside or coming into the building, you'll have to wear a mask. Otherwise, when they're outside playing, they do not have to have a mask. It's
Okay.
what they could wear one if they want, but they're not mandatory in the game to use it.
Right. Okay.
Okay. And they've
Yep,
opened up the camps to over 20 a group, but that's too much for us to handle to start off with this year. So we're going to keep it at 15 or less per group. And that because we don't have the indoor facilities from Beecher as we did before, all the different spaces. So
Yeah.
we're going to be cutting back just a little bit the first year, just to see and just to be safe. We haven't had any problems with the COVID virus and everything like this. The way we've been running our programs, opening up safely, I think that's the way to go.
Right. Okay. Thank you for the update.
You're welcome.
That's great. I think it's great that you're opening it up in a prudent way. Start with 15 people in a group just to really keep up this really responsible way of opening programs.
Well, the state just came out with the bit higher numbers, but we had to hire people already. We can't be hiring people right now and looking out. We've already started 2 months ago. You see the list that we have there. This whole thing started a while ago.
Yeah.
So it'd be really tough for us to try to really open up and get staff. So I think we're going in the right direction.
Right. And as families sign up for summer camp, will these rules be specified on the camp literature, the application. I think, well, I'm asking the question, but I'm thinking that it would be a good idea.
Yeah, no, we'll come up with a CDC COVID rules and regulations for summer camp. And we'll put it out, we'll put it in the packet, we'll get one thing out there, just saying how we're gonna handle it.
And we can email them back. We have their emails from the people, so we could, those
Yeah.
that registered, we could, retro.
We can email that right out to everybody.
Okay, will there be any paperwork that's brought in, or will it be all via email, do you expect? Or will it be a mixture?
It's been both. People have been coming in to register, and it's also been online. So we've, it's been going both ways.
Do you think people that form, they should sign on it? Is the rec application, is there any signature for parents that they've read
Then
this?
online, you do the digital signature, which has been accepted for years, and then when you come in person, you fill out the form here. So yes, there's been signatures.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, great, just, yeah.
John, you are
yeah.
going to be, the kids are going to be using the pool this summer?
Yes, we're gonna be using the pool on a limited basis, because we can't use the locker rooms.
Right.
Like that, because, well, the men's locker room is out, the pipe broke with this, and they have to take half the building apart to get to it. So that's gonna be closed. So we're gonna be doing it so that they can do it at the last period of the day. And then they come in like this, and the group goes, and then they can leave from there to go home.
Gotcha.
Like
Okay.
that. So we're gonna be rotating different days, girls on one day, boys on the other day, back and forth, the groups. So they're
Gotcha.
different days.
And if they need to use the bathroom facilities, is it back to the lifeguards bathroom, or?
No, what's that room called?
Oh, family changing.
Family changing room.
Oh, family change room, okay,
Changing room, yes.
great, okay,
And in between each group, that, the times it's cleaned before and it's cleaned after.
okay,
So
great,
that is done, so.
okay. All right. That's
And
great.
Okay.
John, what's the maximum number of kids you're going to take?
15 per group,
And how many groups?
14,
Yeah.
14 groups.
Oh, wow. Okay. It's a lot of kids. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. So there will be no indoor facility
Yeah, the
use?
maximum would be 200 or so. It'd be like 200. We usually go anywhere from 300 to 350. So we'll be at, if we fill out all the way, we'll be at 210, and that's it.
And other than the pool, any other indoor facilities? The gym?
The gym, South Assembly for a game room. If we can get north the cafeteria that's outside the gym there. But I think I'm working with the superintendent on that because they want to keep everything to one side of the school because they're going to have their educational programs up there. But we're going to see what we do. But we'll have those two large indoor areas and arts and crafts in one of the rooms like we had before.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then we'll have, we're going to be putting the tent up. The tent will be going up June 29th, second
Do you
day
know
of camp.
where?
The
Do you know
tent will
where
be-
it'll be?
It's
Sorry.
going to be going up at Beecher North. There's the Beecher North basketball court next to the playground, outside of the tennis courts right there. And just to the left of it, if you're looking at it, going away from the school, is that there's a area right there which is all tarred area. We have 4 square and all that stuff and everything there. It's going to be put right on that, and it's going to be anchored down right there. It's out of the way. The Kaczynskis loop will still be in effect. We'll still be able to go around like this, and that tent will be up all year long until 6 months. We're allowed 6 months to have the tent up, and then we take down the covering of it. The frame will stay up all the time, but the cover has to come after 6 months, and we will be paying for putting up the tent, and the school will be using it also. They'll be paying for taking down the tent.
Oh, no. Okay.
And we'll be storing it. We'll split the cost on that. And we can do all kinds of programs underneath that tent.
That's great.
And to put it up, was that $2,000 or am I off on that?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. And so the only,
That's just the first year, $2,000.
Because of the frame.
We have to bring the frame over. Other than that, then it's like $600 or $800
Yes.
Okay.
to do it.
okay, great. So the only, I guess the only downside is kids who want to play Foursquare.
They can play
Yeah.
underneath it. It's gonna be open. It's gonna be open to play. Foursquare is gonna be painted right on the ground. It's all open underneath like that. And
Oh,
the
cool.
Foursquare will be there. And if we have to put any programs in there, it'll be on one side, but all those things are gonna be painted and be right there. They'll just be covered. You won't have any sun or rain on you.
Great. Oh, that's cool. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's really
Oh,
add,
yeah.
whoa, easy.
Almost lost the chair there.
Yeah, well, it's okay, the chair, we don't want to lose you. Um, so actually, it just, actually makes more opportunity to play in inclement
Yes.
weather.
Yep. Gives us more
Nice.
space.
Nice, that's great. I'm glad that all worked out with the tent. All right. Personnel, former, oh, that was the,
We actually said it.
we said it, it was a premonition. Okay. Anything else about camp? Any questions, or did we cover it? I think we covered it. Summer concerts.
At the Beyond, we have the 4 concerts this year.
Okay.
We're all set, ready to go. We don't have to do the CDC, whatever it is, whatever the letters are. At first we had to make circles, you had to do all these different things like that. Now it's just spacing. People come out and they have to just keep a 6-foot distance away from everything. We're gonna have 2 trucks, a food truck and an ice cream truck. And that's it. And we're gonna be putting up a like a little snow fence or guard in front of the where the band plays, just so that nobody can go. Nobody usually comes, nobody wants to get close to the music because it's so loud when you're that close. But we'll put something up to keep everybody back just another, the 12, 15 feet.
Yeah.
And we
And
should be
there'll
ready to
be,
go.
and there'll be none, pardon me, none of the other side tables that we usually have, where people are selling stuff. Is that happening?
Well, you could have that, but they can't be like before. We had them right next to each other.
Yeah.
They've got to be a table here, and then we're gonna go 10 feet to the next table, and we'll limit it to just so many groups. We won't limit it to too many.
Okay. Will Rec have a table?
Yes. Yeah, there's some place to sit and eat your dinner.
Exactly. And,
And-
I-
When
Put
is
out
the
our flyers, put out all our flyers and everything.
yeah, and I'd recommend at every concert, someone like John, go and talk about the programs that are happening and talk up Rec.
Every time. That sounds good. That's how you get it. Advertising is the best.
Yeah, yeah.
what is the date of the first concert?
Did you say you needed a date for the first concert?
Need that too.
July 6th, 13, 20, and 27. It's all those Tuesdays.
Yeah, all the Tuesdays in July, just starting with the 6th.
Okay, I gotta make a couple of phone calls.
Yeah, quick.
Hey, I was gonna say, see if your mother would go out with me.
I know this woman, Nancy, would be great for you, Smith.
John, congratulations
Kim,
again.
they're picking on me, Kim.
John, congratulations.
Thank you. Michael had a little baby girl.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
Emma Caroline. She was 7 pounds, 15 ounces. Everybody's doing fine. A little bumpy road at the beginning, but now everybody's home. Everybody came home. The doctors did it at Bridgeport Hospital. They were there in the natal ward and doing good. It's nice to have a little. Thank God I'm older and everything like this because my wife has been holding that baby and looking at me. I said, no. You hold them, you give them back. You hold them, you give them back.
Perfect. It's great. That's
Yes.
really exciting.
Thank you.
Yeah. Congrats. Yeah. All right, we're on to the director's report. Take it away, John.
All right. Fitness center is running on the weekends and tomorrow night it opens up 6 o'clock.
6, 7, 15, and 7:30 to 8:45.
We have 2 sessions, both Tuesday night and Thursday night. We opened up slowly, two days. I had a meeting with Rob yesterday. He and I met over there, went over everything about it like this, and he'll be cleaning in between and everything like that. You have to wear a mask into the building. When you come into the building, the town hall still says they have to wear a mask into the building. But once you enter the fitness center, you do not have to wear your mask while working out like that. You just have to keep your social distancing. And then if you cross over from one room to the other, you're supposed to wear your mask from that in the hallway crossing over, and then you can take it off when you get to the next room. That was the town regulations. But there's nobody in the building at night like this, so it's just us there. So that won't be bad. But if you're coming into the building, you wear your mask in and you wear your mask out. Okay. So that'll be the fitness center. Outdoor facilities are doing great. I had to hire two people on a Saturday after the programs at the Allegri property. Those big soccer programs they have there, it's fantastic. They're all little tiny kids running around. It's cute, but they like to eat pizza and stuff, so everything piles up. And then Sunday when lacrosse comes, they're ticked off because the pails are full and everything. So we hired two people to come in, kids, high school kids to come in, one on a Saturday to clean up at night, and then one on a Sunday night. And then we put the bags all in back of the porta potties. There's 2 porta potties there now because that's how big the program has grown. And then the town comes on a Tuesday, and picks it up. So we're ahead of that.
Great. Can I just, yeah, there was someone who had a concern about that, right? And about
Yeah, we took care of it. And we took care of it because, the town wouldn't hire anybody or anything like this. So I just hire a kid, and we have the garbage bags, and we have the gloves, and we have everything, and they just take it and use it.
Great, that's great. You responded super quickly to that.
Yeah.
Does the person who was concerned about that, did you let them know that it's been taken care of? Or
Oh, yeah, they were emailed right away.
Right off the bat. I mean,
Beautiful.
as soon as we came up with a solution, we sent it right out.
Yeah.
Make them know so they know that at least
They
we're.
thanked us right away too. They sent a quick thank you for,
Yeah.
being on top of this right away. Yes. So.
Terrific. Okay.
Tennis courts are doing great. Tennis courts, people are down there. The pickleball on the courts like this. Everybody's signing up for them and signing up to play on the courts like this, and it's great. It's tennis is not really a problem like this, and that people know the rules and regulations like this, and they have their permits. So they call here, and Jim set them up and email them their permits, and they're ready to go. Sports programs are running good. Smitty and Dave Smith and Steve Cahoon are running our weekend programs and working like that. And Smitty is now helping us on the weekday. He's helping us out a little bit on the weekday because he has some free time, so he's helping us. And Dave Cohen's the supervisor, is supervising the entire program, making sure everything's run, all the CDC regulations are followed. So we've got that covered. Summer camp we talked about. Now we're going to financial report.
Yeah.
We're ahead in the financial report for
Our income is 107.8% from these sports. We're ahead of what we predicted
Right.
of what would come in. Like I said, like he said, the success of the after school programs, the weekend programs, camp. So we're ahead of what we had
Right.
forecasted of what we really thought we did. 107.8%.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
How's it going? But this is people. I think the thing is people trust us. They trust us by the way we're opening. We're not just opening up and saying, "Oh, let's go over and do everything." We're opening up slowly. Some people are said that they want. Well, you know what? You have to be safe. I err on the side of safety at all times. It's the way I've always run my programs, and that's the way we're gonna do it. And we're opening up, and we're not having any problems. We don't have to shut down. There's a few towns that opened programs and had to close because they weren't sure who got COVID, who was what kids, what contacting, and we have contact tracing on everything. So if something happens, that's why we do the fitness center. That's why we do the tennis courts. We have the names and everybody on there. So if something happens, we can contact and trace everything back to where it was and know what we have to do. So that you can see the people are responding and coming to the programs.
And our expenses are only 70%, so we're doing it,
Yeah.
within our expenses.
Yeah,
Like I said,
we're doing
the
back.
income's great, so.
That's great. Actually, can I
No,
just go backwards? You just reminded me, for the camp, do you have to do fever checks and do all of that? Is that required in the?
It's not required anymore as far as I understand. CDC regulations don't require it. They're only talking about masks for the children like that and everything like this. But before we start off, we'll make sure we know every single rule. We'll go over and over it and make sure because they change so quickly, they keep changing them here and there. And we have another, month and a half before we start.
Right.
Or a full month in a week.
Okay, thanks. I just thought of that.
That's okay. Center school gym.
Oh, wait.
Wait.
So under financial report, is this where we were going to talk about any budget, in preparation for next
yeah.
meeting? Any questions, anything that you think should be highlighted, John?
Well, the budget that you received is the original budget that we had. Now we have minus $100,000. I told Tony that we could absorb $50,000. And I figured that would be good. I was being honest with him. I told him we could absorb it easily, $50,000. He said, "Oh, that's great, John. Thank you very much," like this. And then he got back to me after he talked to the finance like this and said, "We're cutting 100,000." That's a little tight, but we can do it. We can do it. We'll cut back, and we'll just, figure out our programs. It's like I did a whole itemized thing myself. This is just for me. Like summer camp was 138,000 that we put in for. We can cut that 50,000. That's where I cut the 50,000 from right off the bat, because we're not going to have a full summer camp. We're going to have a smaller summer camp, so we could do that. So in other things like sports leaders, I cut $30,000 when we said we couldn't do the sports leaders. Well, we have to cut back. So we cut back $30,000 there. So there's 80,000 of it right off the bat right there. Lifeguards, we cut back 10. WSI, we cut back 3 or 4. The fitness center, we kept the same because we're going to be using it. But we ended up cutting about 102,000, something like that. We can handle it. We'll do it like this. And speaking with Tony, he said that, if we get to a point in a situation where we need to add more people or something like this, to see the town, and the town will add to the budget, from the reserve or whatever they call it, that they have, if we needed something like that. But we're doing good. People have to understand that, in a $500,000 budget like we have, we bring over 250,000. We bring in half of that money is brought back to the town of Woodbridge, and it goes into the town coffers, not to our department. So, but it still costs the town about 250,000. And our budget this year is $20,000 more than it was 2 years ago. But the town, if you look at the thing they sent out, we went up 56%. We didn't go up no 56%. We went up 56% from last year because we had to cut back really fast. We had to cut back so we didn't charge the people or everything like that. But now we're coming back to regulation, and I think we're doing really well. Doing the way that we're running it like this. So I'm prepared to talk and fight for this department and show them, the real statistics and rules, because you can make a cup half full or half empty at any times. No, Mike, you can't ask. You ask too many hard questions.
No, this is a question or a comment supporting that position. Someone recently in town asked me, they had some statistic or some number about how is it that rec is going up 150% in the budget? And I said, well, it's going up 150% from 2020 COVID budget, but we're basically going back up towards where we were back in 2019.
That's correct.
Is that correct?
That's correct.
So in that, framing it that way, and I don't know that, and I didn't ask ahead of time, so I don't know if you have the number in front of you, but what was 2019 budget and where are we now?
Hold on.
I mean, it's pretty close, because I was, people are thinking like, because it's really
$577,000.
In what year?
19.
Yeah, in 2019, yes.
Yep, it's 577. And I actually came in at 627 from that. So I only went up about 50,000, but now they cut us back to 557. So we're $20,000 less than 2019. Our budget, if you look at it that way.
Okay, so we're around 550?
Yeah, we're at 557. Yeah,
Okay,
so we're right
great.
about there.
Great, because now that's very clear on this, and I can point to this meeting and this video, because it's it's real easy when there's a big town budget and it's just pages and pages, and people go like this, oh, 150%, what's that? So rec is standing out or sticking out, but everyone should know that's why we're just trying to get back to where we were.
And don't worry about anything, Mike. I'll be standing right behind you. So if they throw anything at us, you got it. You get it.
Okay.
Okay.
Nice.
Thank you.
Teamwork.
It's the way it works here at Rec. We always work together.
That's right. A brotherhood and sisterhood.
That's it. Center school gym, we haven't opened yet. We haven't opened center school gym because we don't have the custodian expense is unbelievable. If we do open a gym, like we open up a gym here on Sundays, we let a group in like this. But John Vigilotti works for us. He works for the Recreation. He's part of the, he's one of our employees like this. And to use the gym, he doesn't charge us. He cleans the gym when he's done. And those are things that he does for us, you know, so because they can't play anywhere. All their gyms are shut down where they want to go, but we do it on a Sunday. We allow them to come in on Sunday. And we'll be doing that if we can find the monies down the road to do the center school gym, but we don't have that yet. You know. So we'll be looking at that, but we did open up Beecher South Gymnasium on a Sunday. Where I think we have just 2 groups right now playing that we can handle. As compared to the 5 or 6 that we usually have. So, and as soon as we can get a clearance on the center school usage building, because that's a town building, that's not our building, that's a town building. As soon as we get clearance on that, we'll get started right away. And that's basically my report. Oh,
Right.
and the young lady that did the those lights, remember she did the lights and everything?
Luminara.
Yes.
Luminara, like this. She did her program the first week that we had a program with her painting of different, was it rocks and what did she paint? She painted something. What, John? Flower pots. The painting of flower pots that she didn't. So she asked if she could have another one. So she had it yesterday. And Rex supplied all the tables and chairs and everything, put them up for her and took them down for her. And she had the program and it was a success. She's a real hard worker, that girl.
That's great.
So.
Does she want to come work with Rec?
No, she's not part of the rec staff. She does, this is the things that she likes to do outside of school and getting the community. She's trying to work with the community to get the community involved.
That's great. Nice to see that energy.
Yep.
Policies and procedures.
Nothing.
Correspondence.
No, nothing this month.
Nothing. Any other business? Don't
That's
think
it.
so.
That's all we have.
No.
Is there anything that we didn't cover that people are like, oh, I should have addressed this when we were talking about this? Or was it just me?
No, but if anybody thinks of anything, after the meeting's over or in the next couple of days, have some, just call the rec officer or call my cell phone. And we'll answer the questions. If we can't answer right then and there, we'll get an answer for you. So if you think of something later on you want an answer, give us a call.
Thank you,
Sorry,
John.
Kim, we're done. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, no, I just wanted to applaud you guys. You're doing such a great job. I think it's amazing.
Thank you.
Then, with a restrictive budget, you cut it, it's just, you guys do a really wonderful job, and I want to just point it out.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And just so you know, the turtles and the fish are doing great. The fish are going to go to a permanent home on right out here at the corner where the light is at Amity. They have a pond right there, and the lady said she'd love to have them in her pond. So the fish are going to go to a bigger home, but the turtles are staying with us. Ember and Chief
Nice.
are part of the staff.
Cool. That's great. I guess it feels like, I guess we don't need to use more time just for the heck of it, though it's fun to just hang out with you guys. We'll have to do that in person one of these days. But thank you all so much and for being here this evening and for everyone's commitment to RAC. You're keeping this community healthy.
One quick question. Mike, you're going to be there for next Wednesday? Are you going to be able to attend?
Next one's the budget.
The budget thing
It's at 6:30 at the firehouse.
at the firehouse.
Yeah, I think I am. I think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm not, I present more of a jokester style person like this and like this, but you're more professional like this, and it just would just help us out to reinform what we do. Is that the right finger, Smith, you're using, or?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I will definitely
Yeah,
try to be there.
I really use your help. That'd be
Okay,
great.
and we'll see how how that meeting progresses.
Yes.
Yeah, we may or may not need to adjust anything. It depends on, what happens if there's a vote. or
Yeah,
not.
how many people show? 250, they need 250 and they gotta have 60% of that to vote.
Right.
If they get to
So,
250, we're gonna be there all night.
It will,
They'll go line by line.
it will
right,
be,
bring
it will be
snacks,
hours and hours, yeah.
Yeah.
bring snacks. And any other commissioners who are able to come, please come and support John, support.
What line is,
Mary, you awake, Mary?
what line is the budget stuff on in the deck?
Way down upon the Swanee River. We're back a little bit.
All right, well, we'll see how it goes.
See what happens.
Yeah.
We'll be prepared. We'll be prepared.
That's it. All right.
Great, thank you. Shall we make a motion to adjourn the meeting? Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting this evening.
Michael, a second. Did I see Mary? Mary seconds it.
Great.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. And the meeting is adjourned at 7:50 p.m. Perhaps a record for us. Wow.
June 28th, the next meeting.
Beautiful.
Okay,
Thank
great.
you kindly, one and
Thank you,
all.
everybody. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Commission.
Stay well.
Thank you too.
Be well. Stay well.